Okay, so what we are going to do in this video is we're going to talk about part 2. And we are going to specifically talk about how to find the mean, median, mode, and range. These are something that you have done before. You do have to find the standard deviation, which is going to be in a second video because it takes a little bit longer. And that's one that you probably have not done before. And so just a refresher, mean, median, mode, and range, what they are and how to do this. So you will have the list of data from part 1, and you will have specifically to do the grade, the age, the height, and the shoe size, and with the data that you have. And so for an mean is basically your average. And so you are going to start with the grade. You're going to look at all of the grades that you have listed, all 20 of them. You're going to add them all up, and then you're going to divide by 20. And so I'm going to do these examples with this data that I have right here. It is not a list of 20. It's only a list of 10. So you would have to be doing 20 when you do your examples. But in order to find the mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of these numbers up. And so I would do 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 and so on. And you would end up getting 67. And I would divide it by 10 because that's how many I have listed here. Like I said, you guys will be dividing by 20. Okay, and you will get a number. Okay, so my mean is 6.7. Then I would go and I would look at my grade data and I would find the median. Well, the median is going to be the middle number. And so if you have it listed from smallest to largest, which I do here, you would have to probably write yours down that way, but you're going to try to find the middle. And so you could go cross out the 5, cross out these 2, cross out these 2, cross out these 2, and then you would cross out these 2. So your middle is in between 6 and 7. Well, that's really easy for me to know what the number between 6 and 7 is. It's 6.5. Okay. Now, some of yours like height and shoe size, possibly age, possibly grade, you might have to find the middle number. And so what you would do is you would take 6 and you would add it to 7 and you would divide by 2. And so that's how we got 6.5. So sometimes we know the middle of 6 and 7 is 6.5, but sometimes your numbers might not be the nicest, but that's what you would do mathematically to figure it out. Your mode would be the one that's listed the most often. And so if I look at my data, I have 3 5th graders I talked to and 3 8th graders that I talked to. And so you could have multiple modes. You could just have one. You could have more than 2, I guess. It's just whichever one is listed the most. And so I have 5 and 8 in this situation. Range would be the spread of the data. And so you're going to take your largest number, which for me is 9. I'm going to subtract my smallest number, which is 5. So 9 minus 5. So my range ends up being 4. Okay. And so that's how you would find those 4 things. You need to do it for grade, age, height, and shoe size. And then the next video, we'll talk about how to do standard deviation. You do have one question on here, and it says, do the values seem reasonable? And what that is really asking you is when you look at your age and you look at the grade, do they seem reasonable as they kind of match up? And so if you think about it, if my average age was, let's just say your average age was a 17-year-old, okay, my average grade should probably be 11th or 12th. Okay, because that's where you are that age. And so they're asking, does that seem reasonable? Give a little bit of an explanation to that. They also ask you to compare heights and shoe size. And so think about that a little bit more and see if your numbers seem to match up or seem reasonable in that sense.